the shelf at that Publix or
Mm-hmm.
that shelf at that Wegmans and that stuff that they need, that cereal is right there.
There's a roadway by not where I live, but like
Oh, God forbid. Shit, damn. That's it like that?
not me. I'm a not me. I wear britches and
not me. But I heard told that there's some folk that live by the railway, and they have it bad, okay? Like, okay. That was disrespectful, man. Like,
that way. I didn't even mean it like
listen to this guy. God dang, bro. You get a little big for your britches. Oh my goodness.
I had some tea and crumpets earlier. I'm sorry.
Bro, I gotta stay grounded. Darwin.
What are you doing here?
It's challenge day.
Welcome back, challengers. This is season 1, episode 7. And I'm your man's Darwin Messidou, aka Darwin Darko.
And I am Jeff. That's Jeff, not Jeffrey. Glad to have you guys back. Yo, so what you got in your mind, bro? You got anything that you wanted to kind of remind us about or update us on?
Yes. What was it? See this here. Okay. Bruh. So okay, we talked about Rihanna last week, or and with the Super Bowl and everything. So I'm not going in on her. Like, I wasn't going in on her. I don't think I was going in on her. I was just critiquing the performance. That's all I was doing.
Of course.
So I think there's a very clear delineation between like what I think the critique was there than what these niggas is doing today. Right? Yo, Rihanna's on the cover of Vogue magazine. She got a photo shoot. ASAP comes along and he's got the baby. You know what I mean? While she's at her photo shoot. Yo, these niggas out here is so fragile. Yo, they dissected the fuck out of this shit. These fragile ass niggas. I'm telling you. That's why I was like, I when I was talking about that halftime performance too, I was like, man, it's like I'm like on the edge of that fucking universe, and it's fucking toxic and dumb, and just like it's very beta, actually, is what it is, and that's contrary to everything that they swear they stand for. But like, yo, mommy's at work. This dude ASAP is in the background with the baby. This ain't about him anyways. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they dissected the hell out of this goddamn thing. And you know what? I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna put it like right here. Okay. All right. So it should be on the screen if the universe worked out. And we're on this continual timeline. I just freaking watched Loki again, so my mind is a little scattered.
So real quick though, I wanted to pose this to you in regards to, because I've seen the photo as well, and I've heard the different obviously perspectives about it. Some that are obviously very toxic, and some that I thought were like interesting, right? Do you think there's a concerted effort to feminize men and attack masculinity?
Hell no, there is no fucking concerted because that's what they're saying.
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
But that's the point.
That's why I'm asking, like, what is your dissection of that?
No, I think these are some fragile ass niggas that can't expand their concept of what it is to be a man. You know what I mean? And it's the tools that they use is just so rudimentary. Like, it's just like, of course when you're a hammer, every problem's a nail, you know? So just a freaking art project. Yeah. This is designed to be an art project. That's what photography is. And so the Vogue cover, you know what I mean? These niggas said she's the leader because she's in the front. She has a strong, dominant, masculine woman's stance as her
Yeah,
posture.
they kind of went hard. I go
What the fuck? Like a woman could never have her shoulder lean back. I mean,
Y'all
Fat
doing a
Joe
lot.
had everybody leaning back.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He didn't say
Oh
only my dudes can lean back. That
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
that's not what I heard.
Yeah.
You know, what the fuck? It says her chest is out. God forbid a woman is confident. Okay. And she's like, she has a hard face. Nigga, this is Rihanna. Like
I'd see
hard
and
face.
This is like, and this is honestly how I feel. Just to be transparent, like I really believe that I don't care about anything that really most people say, anyways. Like I'm like I don't.
Damn,
I don't
son.
Like yeah, like I'm just keeping it a whole.
And I took
like,
that personal.
I mean, obviously, there's
Wait a
certain people.
minute.
I'm not saying like that. I'm saying
no,
this.
that's the big
Oh
one.
my god,
Nigga.
I'm
What
saying,
are we doing here?
you gotta let me live. I'm saying. Obviously, there are people's opinion that I do care about. I'm saying, obviously, outside of people that actually have relations with it, I care about it. Obviously,
Yeah,
but like the way I move through life, like just outside of those,
yeah, especially like these anonymous fucking cats out there.
Yeah, like it's like it don't move me.
Bro,
at all.
you're a screen name to me. That's all you are.
Right,
You're
like
just
you
a
don't even have
screen name.
you don't even have an image. You just have like
Yeah,
you
an
have
avatar.
an avatar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so, but to kind of tie back to the meat of this topic in particular, as far as
This wasn't even a topic. It was a throwback.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. It is throwback.
But
It is
go
throwback.
ahead.
It is interesting when you talk about masculinity, but like when you dive into it, it's kind of like, you know, like some of these, like a lot of these guys, they really believe like what they're purporting. You know what I'm saying? As far as
No,
like,
I believe they believe it.
what they're saying,
I
and
believe
like,
they believe it.
but just the topic of manhood and masculinity is so deep. And the reason why I even say that is because like I'm a part of a men's group at my church, and we talk about like what it is to be a man. And I know that even in our conversations, like there's different perspectives on what it means to be a man and what masculinity is.
Yeah.
So like, so to your point, that's why I understand, like to your point, I can see how it can absolutely seem like it's out of fragility. Like it's just like a lot of these guys are, and a lot of them are. But I think for me, the way I look at masculinity, I do feel like there is, just based on what I've seen, what I've been exposed to, I do feel like there is a concerted effort towards the feminization of men and an attack on masculinity. But at the same time, it's kind of like, okay, so what am I mean, I can talk all day about this masculinity, but at the same time, because I understand who I am and what my understanding of manhood to me is good for me, it's all entertainment at that point for me. Like it doesn't change my opinion on anything in particular. But I do realize that a lot of these guys, they have different perspectives on what manhood and masculinity is. So that's why they come out in droves like this with these, a lot of times, like really tribal.
You said that y'all sit and try to define what a man is.
Like we discussed, like,
right.
What does, like, essentially the question is always posed, like, what does manhood mean to you? Like, how would you define manhood? And then we'll just have discussions on that.
Okay,
that is and what masculinity is.
So what ends up happening. So it's like, so do y'all trying to come up with a consensus or
so
what?
and that's what I was going to get to, and that's what I think we try to do, because we have those discussions to see if, like, how aligned we are in what we believe manhood and masculinity is, or how far apart we are, or what are like the nuances that
here's the trap,
or what nuances one person considers important and the nuances that another person doesn't consider important.
But
you know
okay, here's the trap that I would advise you think about when discussing it with these guys, and maybe you could bring this up with them as well. You don't want to fall into the trap of creating a Venn diagram. When you create this Venn diagram,
yes, I agree.
What you have is this very tight little spot where all of these specific
varying perspectives
unite.
Yep.
And when that happens, it's and again, I don't know if y'all was trying to build a consensus, but beware that could tend to, to happen at these type of discussions where you try to build a consensus, and because that's going to be such a tight, small criterion circle for what it is to be a man. It's going to lose all the nuance of all those areas that are not within that Venn diagram.
Yeah.
And so by that, I say all that to say like people in general, but specifically men, need to like expand that framework of what it means to be a man, just like a little bit. Like I'm not, you know,
expand
like,
it to what degree though? Because some guys
I
feel
just said a little bit. I just said a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. But
Okay, that's fair. I can accept that.
but when a man like like you ain't gotta be where I'm at with it, right? But I feel like there's way too much distance between where I'm at and where some of these cats at that I call friends, that I call family, you know, that I feel like are my cohort. You know what I mean? They're like, these are my people. And our distance, like the distance between where I'm at and where they're at, feels pretty far. You know? And I'm not telling them to get to where I'm at, but like niggas gonna have to start like expanding a little bit. Like he could be a stay-at-home dad, bruh. Like we can do that now. It's 2023. It's okay. And we're not saying he is, because this guy's an artist, a famous rapper in his own right. But like Stedman married to Oprah, you know me, like no, he does stuff. He was an attorney, a competent attorney, everything like that. But like he don't really gotta work really for the rest of his life. And like, and it's not like he's putting his wife to work for him. No, she is doing what she loves to do. She's gonna do this regardless of that dude. And he loves her. Like there's a certain level of a man loving his wife that is almost gay, apparently. A man loving his wife and supporting his wife too much. Oh, this nigga must be gay. He ain't, you know what I mean? He's an undercover.
That's where I think
he's holding and kissing the baby.
That's where I think that and for me, that's where I think a lot of those guys will lose people, because I think when it comes to manhood, I think that's part of it. Like you have to love your wife and care for your children as well. That's not just the responsibility,
son,
of your wife. Like as a son, man, like
it's not like you know. And I don't want to make excuses because this is gonna be a pretty terrible example for my case. But the fact of the matter is, it's not like we're fighting wars like on horseback anymore. Back when it was only men doing that type of job, you know what I mean, and women weren't doing it. It's not like when we were farming where men were stronger, so they did most of the you know what I mean, the heavy lifting probably, while the wife took care of the kids in the house. Yeah. We all on some fucking computers now, my guy. Like, bruh, like all this, everybody is behind a desk.
Yeah, I think there's, I definitely think that there's
like more. These gender roles that were supposed like specifically and like ingrained, they were not ingrained in stone. Like,
yeah. And speaking of gender roles, that's kind of like my thing too. Like I definitely believe in gender roles, but I think because of the modern era that we're in, there has to be a hybrid approach to that. Like, and at this point now, you have people that are just like, yo, you're husband and wife, you're living together, you just work together and make it work for you. Like at the end of the day, that's just
the cohesiveness of the black family,
right? And that's
right
and that's
now
just,
the
that's
dynamic that Rihanna and ASAP have going on has got them with the child and it's working for them, and she's pregnant with her second child, and they are together. Y'all keep saying y'all want to see strong black families,
and that's where their argument
and the way that their role is set up, the way they should have set up. This is what's keeping the black family alive. Or would you rather the man be dominant? And guess what? That particular relationship doesn't work out anymore because of that, reversing that kind of role in their scenario. Oh no, Rihanna, you gotta stay home. I gotta go to concert and do my shows. So like, or however you switch that up, and suddenly now the relationship gets rocky, and all of a sudden now the marriage breaks apart, and the man is alpha, but the family's broken apart.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
the fuck do niggas want?
Yeah, I look at and I think that's a fair point. Like I look at especially as being a man, you know, being a man of your house, and I obviously believe in like the man being the head of the wife and all that stuff, but I do think that you have to be a servant leader, right? That's you have to be someone that people would want to follow. Like you have to be an example, and you have to be sacrificial for your family. And ASAP could be doing that, right? Just based on like his position and based on Rihanna's position, Rihanna's a billionaire. And ASAP is, you know,
That part.
ASAP is an artist too, so he's busy. He's going around
Yeah.
too. But at this point of their marriage, he may have to take on that role of like being more of like the caretaker in the home if he has more, which I doubt, because they have, I mean, they're basically billionaires together, so they obviously have like nannies and things like that. But like,
I mean, I don't know if it's obvious because they
situation-
could be raising them different. Because like freaking what you call it?
They could be. But as musicians though, bro,
I mean, they get busy. I'm sure they got assistants. I'm not gonna say they're not gonna do that, but like they could want to spend more, you know, want to be as close to the baby as much as they can. So
Sure.
and then they got another one on the way. So right, and so like, if ASAP wasn't even in the picture,
that'd be a whole
and it was just Rihanna, it'll be what?
That'll be a whole nother. They be going.
I don't know if they. I'm going down a different kind of track with it because I don't think they would comment at all because it'll be just another Vogue magazine with the individual woman on it. You know what I mean? Woman A. So just like a regular Vogue cover. But it's the fact that they put him on the cover, holding the baby, being behind her. It's like, this is like a concerted effort.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The homeboy Toby Anigwe, right? That got the his music is amazing. He says in his music, you know what I mean? If I go somewhere and I can't bring my kids, my wife, I'm leaving.
So yeah, he said I ain't going. Yep.
He said I ain't going. You know what I mean?
When I heard him say that, I was like, I respect this guy.
Yeah. So they could be on one like that. You know what I mean? They could be like, yo, Rihanna could be like, where I go, my baby go. And ASAP could be like, well, when my baby go, I go. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he could be talking about Rihanna or the baby for that one. You know what I mean? But like, they could be like, we just going as a family. So everything we're doing as a family. And so, and they winning. Mm-hmm. Like, we want that for the cohesiveness of the relationship to keep that up. But I was just gonna say the last thing that these fools were talking about, it was something else I was gonna mention. I can't even remember now, but like, it just happened to be the way she's standing there, and they saying he's cock shaming because their hands happen to, like, the way the timing of the photography snap is hiding his dick because we have to know he has a dick, even though he has a whole ass baby in his hand. But whatever. He is a follower, right? It's Rihanna's photo shoot, you ignorant motherfuckers. All right. He has a soft face. He's literally kissing a baby. Like, how else you gonna kiss the baby face?
Yeah, I don't.
That'll be offensive. How you get that close to a baby and still have a hard face?
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Right. The closer you get to a baby, the softer your face gets. You start melting. Absolutely. It's a freaking baby. Like, it's his baby, and the baby is having a grand old time and looks happy and healthy, which is what you want, right? Yeah. So if he wasn't in the picture, would niggas be wondering, who's watching the baby? Who's watching? Didn't she just have a baby? Where's the baby? Mm-hmm. That's the line of thought I'm thinking where these niggas would go for that part. Is like, why are you not watching your baby? Mm-hmm. If they were to comment, that's what they would say.
You know, I think would have changed the dynamic of this entire discussion as well with that photo, if ASAP was in front of her.
Yeah. But it's not ASAP's cover. It's her.
Right, exactly. If it was the exact same position, like them doing the same thing, but Rihanna was the one in the back.
He has a submissive, nurturing, feminine man. I want to be a soft face. If it's my baby, that makes me submissive. Okay. Nurturing, showing my baby love. He's kissing the baby. That's nurturing. Yeah, I want to do that. Feminine man, I don't know exactly what all of that means. Is it the submissive, nurturing part that makes you feminine? Like, I don't even know what the half of that shit means.
That's a whole topic as well.
So,
impact and all that stuff.
Yo, bro, they got this shit on here like it's geometry. They got this shit up here like it's geometry, bro. Like, these niggas got some science on it. Somebody taught these niggas how to
man, there's a lot of outlets that they address these things all the time, man.
That shit's gotta be tiring, dog. It's gotta be tiring. You gotta be a miserable human being.
It's making a lot of money on YouTube.
You gotta be a miserable human being, bro. Like, to be just like going in on like this type of space and putting your energy towards this kind of thing. Like, you either hate women or you're just a fragile ass man. That's the summation I think of all of them. That's in this whole manosphere bullshit. And some of them are cons. They know the game. No. They know this. They know a lot of the shit they saying is bullshit, absolutely. But they know like they can get followers and stuff like that. They know doggone well they go home. Sure. They go home. They, you know what I mean? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Whatever you want, ma'am. You know what I mean? And it's like they love it on their wife. You know what I mean? And they let their wife love on them. You know what I mean? And sometimes she's on top. So we ain't gonna go there with it. Yo, I ain't gonna kink shame you. Do your thing. Do your thing, King. Do your thing, King.
You see what you doing? As you guys know, both myself and my brother, we're Haitians, proud Haitians at that.
All my Zoes listening out there.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We so psyched, man, because it's dope. The Haiti women's soccer team they've qualified for their first FIFA World Cup. And if anyone knows about what's been going on, and yeah, for sure, this is why a soundboard would be amazing. Right?
Yeah, just like that.
But like,
drop a clues bomb for
for sure. Like it's such an amazing accomplishment, and for some people who's listening, you might not know why it's such a significant accomplishment. Well, this is the reason why. A couple of reasons. First of all, this is Haiti. This is Haiti, right? Haiti for a long time hasn't even had the infrastructure to even like have sports outlets, even participate in some of these events, right? There's always been a lot of talent in Haiti, for sure, especially when it comes to athletics. It's just when you don't have the infrastructure and you don't have stable government, that impedes a lot of that progress in those areas, right? Where like countries don't even want to do business with you.
Yeah, man, this is sports. This is entertainment. Like, bro, like people are trying to get food and gas.
And that's what I was getting. And that's what I was getting at. Like, there are things that are more pressing, right? There are more pressing matters for the country. Like currently right now, there's anti-government forces. There are gangs that hold territories right now. We had a president that was assassinated in office in 2021. In office. Like in office, like a whole. And
they still arresting fools till today. Around the world.
Yep, absolutely.
Around the world, people come from South America. People came from South America. Freaking, I think one of them was a French dude, and some Central American people, and like they're still catching folks. Spain, I think somebody was from Spain.
Yeah, I don't think y'all realize it. It takes a coordinated effort to get a president up out of there, even if it's a president of Haiti. But to get a president up out of there, it takes a coordinated, complicated, and well thought out execution scheme. That's the word. Scheme to get them up out of there. So not only that, like obviously even natural disasters like hurricanes, the earthquake, not to mention all that. You're not to even mention. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, but all of these things it's something that we even talked about before. All of these things are predicated on like, these are they're basic necessities that people aren't able to acquire consistently. So people are incentivized to like, I'm gonna take the law in my own hands, or I'm gonna go, do this because I want to feed my family. I'm gonna go rob this person or kill this person or whatever. And then you have obviously people who have their different opinions and how government is supposed to be run. So then you have those anti-government forces as well. You have
it's pretty much lawless. It's pretty much lawlessness.
And that's what I was getting at. It's
so to all that, and then to like for these ladies to come together enough to put together a game like that. You know what I mean? That game in particular. You know what I mean? It was a 2-1 or 2-0. 2-1. 2-1. It was 2-1.
Yeah, they had one of the Chilean players score one like in the 11th minute after. The 90 minute, like in extra minutes.
Extra minutes? Okay.
In extra minutes. So it gave them a little bit of life, but then like Haiti played good enough defense to kind of like stave off the.
That was that game was weird that it worked out that way because they was attacking.
Yes.
The Haiti team was on defense the whole time.
Whole game. Yep.
Bro, the Chilean women were like attacking. I remember when I was playing keeper, bro. I used to be on this side waiting, and I'm getting all kinds of like, right? Yeah. And like I'm yelling at the defense to push back so that I can have more field space in front of me. But also like, I'm like, bro, why y'all not putting shots on goal the way I'm getting shots on goal?
Yeah.
Who's is over there lining up waiting for perfect shots and whatnot? If they need a clear alley or something like that.
But you know what it was? It's because especially when Haiti was up though, they were trying to play keep away and they were trying to do clock management. But Chile was
since early on. Chile.
Oh yeah, that's true. They were on target a couple.
They were attacking shots after shot. They was just missing, bro. Oh, but that keeper though. Yo,
Man.
she's got hops. She's got freaking wingspan.
Man, she helped.
Oh.
She helped quite a bit. Like she definitely earned. Yeah, but I just wanted to like real quickly just even talk a little bit about Michelle Dumais just to kind of like run through real quick. Like this, she's really like that for real.
Is it Melchi or Michelle?
I think it's Melchi. It's Melchi.
Okay.
Melchi Dumais. But it's Melchi Dumais. And like she's 19-year-old young kid. She's a star of the team. She's really like that though. Like she actually plays for a D1 football club in France. Called Stade de Reims. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's D1 division. So like she's legit. Like she's really legit. She actually just signed a deal with a team in the Champions League, which is a very competitive league in soccer. So she's really like that for her. She's the one that scored both of the goals anyways.
Yeah, but exactly.
Yeah. So like, but it just goes to show you, man, like, you know, even though this is just a soccer match and it may not be that important to some people, like this is something that at least gave Haiti something to smile about. At the very least, it brings people together. You know what I'm saying? Haiti's ranked number 55 in the world in the world, and they beat a team that was ranked 38, which is Chile, right? But now Haiti is in a group
with freaking London,
lumped in with England.
And
I'm looking at it, it's England, China, and Denmark. England women's team is ranked number 4. China is ranked number 14th, and Denmark's ranked number 18th.
Yeah.
So
it's a tough road just to get out. Just that group.
Just that group itself is like, and England's men's team is ranked number 1 in the world. Like, so England just got it. As a matter of fact, the best soccer league in the world is the English Premier League. So soccer there is just,
I don't know. Some soccer people might
Google it.
Might beef about that.
You can Google it.
You mean in terms of like revenue?
I'm talking about the most talented and the most talented and top level talent as far as leagues go. Football of actual soccer. It's Premier League. Like you can literally Google it. Like I looked it up earlier and I was like, let me see which league is that's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. There's that one, and then La Liga is another one that's like number 2 or 3 or something like that. This I can't remember the name of the other one, but yeah, it's you can Google it everywhere. Like that's the one. Like so that's where all the superstars that you know of, that's where they all end up playing in. Is in that
but that's dope that it's that this happened and they was on there doing the gritty. You know, in the video,
I saw them on Twitter.
Those get hyped. Yeah, man.
So it's just lit, man. Like it's a small victory, but in the country of Haiti, it's a huge victory because we needed something to cheer about. You know what I'm saying? To bring the country together with all that's going on within the country.
Okay, we need to do the challenge of the week. So, what do you got?
Cooking consistently. So. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I hate cooking. I mean, for you it's different because you cook often. That's the thing that you do. And it could be maybe a firstborn thing because you were the firstborn in our family. as far as our immediate family goes, somebody
had to do cooking.
Somebody had to do it. Yeah. So, maybe that was ingrained in you. But like for me, I think I absolutely enjoy the results of cooking. But
if you do it right,
exactly. If you do it right, but the steps before, I'm like, not so much.
You don't like chopping up the stuff?
Yeah, I don't
really.
Yeah, I just don't like
and peeling stuff.
Low key, I've actually heard that's kind of therapeutic for some people, being able to chop up the vegetables, stuff like that.
Okay, it's not for you.
It's just I don't know, like what. I think it's also because like when it comes to food, if I like something, I can just eat it all the time, right? Mm-hmm. Like variety when it comes to food is not really a thing that I care too much about. So I think that could be part of it. So there's nothing that incentivizes me to like want to experiment or do different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. It's just I'm good as long as it tastes good and it consistently tastes good the way that I like it, and it provides me sustenance. I'm good. But as far as like the challenge goes, like it just I don't like cooking, bro. But because I'm an adult and I have to eat, right? And if I
ain't nobody there to feed you,
ain't nobody, right? Exactly, nobody else, right? Exactly. And if I want to, be cautious about like obviously what I put in my body, as well as just being financially literate and responsible, it's best that you do, like you're bulk shopping and you actually make food at home and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Granted, yeah, it takes up more of your time, but obviously if you manage your time well, then you work those things out. So
But also for some of us, it's part of your therapy. So it's it's therapeutic. So you're actually investing in yourself.
Yeah, and that's a
if that's something that you find therapeutic.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a very good point for sure. And the interesting thing for me with as far as just that piece there, as far as the therapeutic, that's what like basketball is for me actually. Like when I go hoop, it's kind of therapeutic for me as well. Like
some people do that with boxing. They'll they have a boxing membership and they'll just like get in the ring and go do some rounds, and there's like or even not even that, jiu-jitsu is another one. You like rushing around and like you did.
I more about jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that really gets you in your head sometimes. Like, I did a little bit, back in college, just like as a class, you know what I mean? And like, I could see stuff like that being therapeutic, like the gym even, or, where you hooping.
So I realized like physical activities like that is more therapeutic for me, not necessarily. Because I mean, cooking is a physical activity because you're actually like cutting stuff up and doing that, but like, actual physical activity that when you're competing with someone, that's like for me, it's low-key it's low-key therapeutic for me. Like I enjoy that more, right? So, but as far as this challenge goes, I kind of had to just get out of that, right? Get out of like the not wanting to cook because my motivation to be more conscious of like how I spend my money and what I put in my body, that's a greater motivation than just me like, I don't feel like doing this.
I don't feel like cooking. Yeah.
I don't feel like cooking, right? Because it's like so I find that more important. Because obviously you're gonna prioritize things that you care more about. So, so the challenge for me is to consistently cook, right? And I've been more intentional about doing that more often.
You ever try to do those like HelloFresh?
I have.
Blue Apron.
I have, but they low key, honestly, get expensive, and it tends to be pretty much the same amount you spend on like even if you were to buy food every day. It actually comes like I tried it for like 6 months or something like that. And I was like, bro, I'm pretty much like I ran the numbers. I'm like, I'm pretty much spending the same amount of money. Like, like it's not. Really,
but like,
I mean, you may
but even then you're like, at least you're learning to cook though.
Yes.
If you're spending the same money, I understand if you're maybe spending more, but if you're spending the same money, at least you also get the benefit of learning to cook.
Yeah, that too. I think you're right about that. But I think it's, again, at the time, it was more of like, I don't feel like cooking. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself made it kind of like, I think I'm not maximizing this like another person would. Right? I'm kinda like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm kind of cheating myself in a way. So it's like, because I'm not really maximizing this particular benefit here with these courier services when it comes to that. But what does encourage me to do so is when I look at my account and I'm like, I spent that much money on food, like going out and stuff. I'm like, I need to chill. Like I need to chill.
Yeah.
Because I definitely want to invest even because I invest quite a bit of money like into like my brokerage accounts and things like that. But I want to be able to invest more. And I look at like, oh man, I didn't. And sometimes you look at like your
you look at a bunch of different things that you do, and like where you can cut some spending here, cut some spending there. Yeah, you should be reevaluating all the time. And like one of the things is like the subscription services that we have. Like sometimes there's like I don't know. Last time I watched something on Showtime, for example, I should probably get around to canceling that bit.
Yeah, you should probably cancel Showtime.
You know what I'm saying? I think I might have had like a discounted membership or a free membership or something for some period of time. And then I had gave them my credit card number and then they just charging it, you know what I mean? Yeah. And so like, we're like, there's low-key like these little dollars here and there that we're just like wasting, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was one thing if I'm watching stuff on Showtime, but like, I'm not even watching Showtime.
Yeah. And a lot of companies, they're expecting that, right? Or they're banking on you doing that, forgetting that you had subscription. So like, or they'll send you like another deal, like, hey, don't cancel now. We'll give you, we'll take 50% off your subscription if you have for 6 months.
And then you're like, you know what? I might as well hang on a little bit.
Because I ain't gonna lie, a couple of them have got me like that. Yeah. I had to like stand my ground and be like,
No,
bro.
I'm
Like you ain't
all
gonna,
good.
you ain't gonna
Yeah.
get me.
But I kind of interrupted. Like, so what is the challenge? Is the challenge that you want to learn to cook, or you want to cook more at home, or what's the specific challenge?
The challenge. Okay, so that's what I was trying to kind of like
Revert to.
revert to and like create like an actual more precise kind of point that I wanted to make with that is I want to be able to and this is a work in progress. I want that to be more of a priority rather than just like my annoyance with it, right? Like just being annoyed about it. Like that needs to be the priority. Like I need to prioritize what I'm putting in my body more so than like I don't feel like doing the actual work to do it. It's just like let me just go get something. Like I need to prioritize actually like doing more of that, more cooking at home.
Did you did you cook a lot this week?
Not a lot, but more often than I usually do, which is like not very often. But like my goal, for example, was to like if I can get to like 3 times a week, that for me would be great.
Yeah, because you could also have some leftovers too.
Right. And, I mean, and there's some people who cook like almost every day, right? But like for me, if I can do 2 to 3 times a week, that for me is a big win. It's a big win.
And then especially if you could do like two to 3 times a week and have some variety with it, you know what I mean? Maybe fish, a steak, and some chicken. You know, and the third day you switch it out, and maybe you do some ribs and a lamb or pork chop the following week, and then you kind of like have your different recipes with each one. Yeah, man, you should do that. My wife tells me all the time I should write because I cook all the time. I be trying stuff, you know what I mean? Like it don't always work out, but like I still eat it because you know what I mean. I got a strong stomach. If I get, I'm gonna eat it.
I made it, so I'm like,
throw some barbecue sauce in there, some hot sauce, make it work. But like an activity to help you to learn to cook more, like taking notes of like you try some recipes that you're like, yo, this really worked out. You know what I mean? And let me make a note to like, boom, you remember to go back to that one so that you can have a couple go-tos. And then like when you want to cook.
I do have a couple go-tos.
Yeah, you can just like whip it out.
Whip up.
You can whip up, yeah.
But you're right about like diversifying my portfolio as far as
of your go-tos.
Variety of my go-tos. Yeah. So you're definitely right about that. Because one of the areas that I definitely want to improve on is definitely making cultural dishes for sure. I've been saying this for a while. I ain't gonna lie. I've been saying this for a couple years. I'm like, yo, I need to get right. Like, I need to.
I've been experimenting with that soup jumu, bro. I've been trying.
Bro.
I got it right. I got it kind of right one time. The other time wasn't that right. But I've been.
But you know, I wasn't mad at the other time when you asked me about it. I was like, it's different. It's not like what I'm used to. But like, I wasn't mad at it though. So I'm like, so you might have something that you can probably like expand upon or like change up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
But it's just practice.
Yeah,
it's just practice. You're gonna fail at some, you know what I mean, and some of them gonna hit, you know what I mean. So it just takes the practice. But like that's good. If you did it only one time this week and you did it 0 times last week, that's progress. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe. What up, fam? It's Darwin, the guy that was just talking. First off, thanks for watching and supporting the show. But I gotta give y'all some homework. Your challenge, if you choose to accept it, is to interact with the show. That means 1, hitting that like button because I know you like our stuff. 2, make sure you subscribe so we can swim our way up your timeline whenever we drop new content. The third thing, please share the channel with your friends. Maybe they'll learn a thing about a thing or two. Oh, last thing, we're over here talking about what y'all talking about. So go ahead and carry that conversation on into the comments. We be up in there too. Ohio train derailment disinformation traced back to bogus news site. And so if you haven't heard, I don't know if you were on the rock, but in Palestine, Ohio, there's this train that got derailed and they had some nasty chemicals up in it. And so this is the stuff that's used to make, I think PVC piping. But these were like the base components for it, right?
Yeah.
And
to actually build them.
And it was, they were taking temperatures of the overturned cars and stuff, and they're like, "Yo, the temperature inside this thing is rising. So if we don't do something about it, there's going to be a rather large explosion." So what they did is they dug a trench next to the overturned car, and they like, I don't know, they started letting the fluid out. into the trench, right? And then they burned it. Bruh. If that's the best, I mean, I'm gonna have to trust that they had some professionals.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very.
There are some scientists on hand, and some local politicians, representatives on hand to be like, okay, this is the best course of action. There's a lot of human beings involved. All of them are adults. I don't want a Monday morning quarterback this time, but these are some very, very toxic chemicals that they're burning in order to avoid an explosion. And now it's in the air. And people's pets are dying. The fish are all dead in the area. It could be in their water. It could be they could be breathing it. They know they smell and stuff, and like they had got clear to go back in. But one particular part about this I wanted to bring out is how so a string of frightening claims about the Ohio train derailment spreading contamination to the Mississippi River have been traced back to a bogus news website that uses AI generated reporters. According to so the situation is bad. Everybody saying the situation ain't bad, but bro, this is why you gotta freaking check your sources. You gotta do further research. Don't just read a link somebody sent you. Google the damn thing yourself. So moving on.
It makes you question. It makes you question what you read and digest on a daily basis.
We're doing so much all the time. We want everything in sound bites and quick bites. We don't got time to like sit down and like dissect something. So the claims began circling on Twitter earlier this week in what Caroline Bueno, a behavioral scientist who studies disinformation, described as a coordinated campaign. Okay, coordinated by who? I don't know if they get into
intention.
It's intended apparently, right? Well, the AI is writing stuff. So several Twitter users shared the exact same map to push the claim that farms along the Mississippi River were under threat from dangerous chemicals released in the Ohio train derailment, despite experts reassuring that is not the case. In a Substack on Friday, Bueno noted that many of the conspiratorial posts were taken from Eden Reports. Eden Reports is a site that's registered with a Lithuanian-based registrar and purports to be a news source, but relies on writers that are actually AI generated. That's the writers. And so this kind of crap and information is being spread because people are sharing it. But I do understand there are some concerns that are happening there. Biden hasn't, as far as I know, he hasn't gone there yet. And this dude can't do anything right in some people's eyes. You know what I mean? Not that I'm trying to cape for the dude and everything like that, but like he's got a pretty big job. He's actually representing democracy now. You know, while this was happening over with a tyrannical government that has invaded a border country for what is NATO. And if you know, Biden keeps telling these fools, we will protect every inch of NATO. So he's trying to be like, yo, we got to stop this joint in Ukraine before they get a little too close to NATO. So he's over there trying to do some, you know, rah-rahing of the troops, trying to like, of the Ukrainian troops and those forces to try to, you know, give encouragement for them to like, yo, to stand their ground, essentially. You know what I mean? This is Ukraine. You know, y'all invading us. You know,
they still have to formally join NATO though.
They're not part of NATO though. You know, so that's why we don't. That's why we don't have any direct beef yet.
Right. Exactly.
And right now,
they're
not. We're not. NATO is not obligated to, but you could be a friend of Ukraine. I think part of the agreement that was in the early birth of that territory is that we will, because we're doing this peacefully, we will give up our nukes. Ukraine did that. You know what I mean? Ukraine gave up the nukes, and the Europeans was like, yeah, we'll protect you. You ain't part of NATO. But like, you know what I mean? We'll come looking out. We have, you know what I mean? Because you're giving up your nukes for it. We got your back. And so Ukraine is like, dang, Ukraine is like, man, I wish I had a nuke or two right about now, probably.
To be fair, also, Russia and the United States have come to the table before about nuclear proliferation too. So there's less nukes in general that are not as accessible anymore. Like there's not as much nukes as it used to be.
Right, but
so there is a little bit of a trajectory of like, kind of weaning off of that, but. When it comes to these two superpowers, leverage is the name of the game. So I'm not sure how.
But it's not. Again, it's not a direct. We're not in direct conflict with them. So the only reason that the nuke thing matters is because that is the agreement. That is why people are like, why are we even over there? Why are we sending the money every time Congress fight? We're sending the money. We got our president going over there. People from Congress trying to go over there, and we're covering the news about it. There's wars in all kinds of other countries we don't all the time. You know what I mean? Shit, how much Haiti motherfuckers seen on the TV and all the gang violence there? Like we don't even see that joint, right? Yep. But that's why we're involved, because there's kind of part of the agreement for them to have when they gave up their nukes at that time was that we're going to come support them. If push comes to shove, and push is coming to shove, and so it's like, if we had nukes, Russia wouldn't feel like they could be so blatant like this. You know what I mean?
That's also true.
So we ain't got no nukes, so y'all better come help out. Y'all said y'all finna come help out. They come help out, right? And so we send money and we send supplies and I think we're sending tanks now. In some different things to maintain those supplies that we're sending over. So Biden couldn't be here. Sorry to go to East Palestine. Like people that just eventually went, but like it's also like, oh well, I mean, was Biden going to go pick up a shovel and start, you know what I mean, digging more trenches or something like?
Like, that wasn't.
You expect Pete Buttigieg to actually do some freaking Spider-Man joint, and I know he kind of looks like he would be Spider-Man though. Pete Buttigieg, he got that face, right? he
definitely got the Tom Holland look kind of thing going.
Kind of got that look going for him, just like push the thing back on the track and freaking just get a nice tap on the ass and send the train on its way. Like Buttigieg ain't there for that. You know what I mean? It's like really how much it's gonna do, but like trust,
there's only so much you can do.
Trust, like FEMA is actually on the job. You know what I mean? Like you, the local authorities.
And that's what it's gonna require. It's like
you know what I mean? They got probably the National Guard on the job, and the money that they need to pay the guardsmen and the supplies and all that stuff. Like the federal government is like providing those supplies. It's like ask those people on the ground how the response have been, and that's why I would need to know. Before everybody else is talking about why Biden not there, why this person not there. Like ask the people on the ground. Have you been getting the support from the administration? You good? They looking out. They doing the best they can. But I do not want to forget to say this part. I'm hearing right-wing commentators talk about where's Biden, where's Buttigieg, and all these people, right? If this was Flint, Michigan, a black neighborhood, a black community, I bet he'd be there. He'd be there with, first thing in the morning, on first thing smoking, right? And where is he for East Palestine? Oh, because it's a white rural neighborhood. See, the Democrats hate rural America. They hate white America. They're all just a woke party, and they're just worried about the image for people in the black community, and they don't care about it. So that's what the right wingers are saying. But again, just like the conversation we had a while ago about people saying that these black cops beat up this black dude to be like, hey, see, cops, it's not all cops, don't be blaming cops. And so, but I'm like, no. What we need to see is that it's the cops that's the problem. They beating up black people, they beating up white people, they getting shot by white cops, and they getting killed and shot by black cops as well. So realize the overarching thing there is the fact that they're cops. For this particular case, the overarching thing that people aren't looking at, you mad that Biden didn't show up there? You mad that Biden showed up in Flint and not here? And you think you're looking at the wrong fucking target. It's the corporation that caused this bullshit to happen.
What are these private companies that you're referring to though?
Like CRX, what these companies? CRX is one. I don't think that was the one for this one. So major rail companies. in the U.S. That's easy. Yeah, Union Pacific, Norfolk Southern. I think it was the one that crashed. There was a Norfolk Southern train. It's the corporation. These giant corporate railway conglomerates that they're using brakes that was the same design, I think, from World War II in some of their trains.
What?
In some of their trains.
I mean, trains last a long time, but that's kind of crazy. Brakes from 1942.
But I don't know. I'm not saying the brake itself. I'm saying the same design.
The same design. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like the technology, that's kind of crazy. Use technology from the 1940s.
Yeah.
Today, that's wild.
And so they also so now they're skimming because they're a corporation. You're skimming on like upgrading your equipment.
Cutting corners. Cutting corners.
Yep, I watched one video, bro. I watched one video.
That's American capitalism, bro.
I watched one video. They had this train on this very rural area, bro, and the tracks was so rickety. That bit was like doing the stanky leg. Like I'm looking at this train.
That's
it's like
crazy.
I'm like the train is like going like this, and like and because it's a very experienced engineer that's driving it, right? He's taking his time. He's going slow. Some of the fucking beams are missing. Some segments are even missing, and it's like
that's insane.
And the thing is that's probably not his first trip on that track.
Because the fact that he's taking it again, obviously he has some
on that track. And it's like, yo, bro, like these corporations are cutting corners and cutting costs everywhere they can, and they are really the real reason. But Biden did not push the wrong button for that train to derail. Buttigieg didn't assign the schedule to who going where today at the hub. No, it was a corporation that ran that joint. It's a corporation that gets all kinds of subsidies to do what they got to do, because we're gonna let them go through freaking America all willingly, however the hell they want. They go through quote unquote undesirable neighborhoods. They cut off communities from each other. These rural communities, people don't want to build homes right next to it or a school right next to it, because these trains are coming and they have dangerous substances on them.
Yeah,
if something were to happen. And so, your housing is cheaper over there, so you're not getting as much resources because you're not paying into. The tax system is just not there for that. The tax base isn't there for that. And you mad at Biden for not showing up here because he's trying to add a little weight to the door that's blocking tyranny and helping to save what we say we care about, which is democracy. Like that dude can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like he needs to sign something, he could sign electronically, bro. It's like,
I mean these are systems that are set in place for that very reason, right? Obviously the president that's like blaming the quarterback for like the defense not stopping a running back.
Defense not stopping. Like you blame the quarterback, like bro,
like what
do you want me to do? We had great field position and everything.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? So
like I just threw 4 touchdowns for 350 yards. Like why are you asking me for something that? So I mean I definitely get that. Like
I get it. The buck stops with somebody. At the end of the day.
Exactly. I mean, because
like,
if you're the president, of course that blame is always going to fall on your desk. I mean, that's just a part of the job. It is what it is. But I think that's unreasonable for sure. I mean, there's obviously intent on how these infrastructures are designed in these specific neighborhoods, specific areas. So
no. Okay, so the Tesla joint. This is the article that I put up for Tesla? This Yahoo one?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that's fine.
One. I thought the Yahoo one, I mean, it was short, but I thought it was pretty succinct, straight to the point of exactly what was happening, what's going on.
That's kind of what I want.
It was straight to the point, what's going on, and
So Tesla is recalling over 360,000 cars with driver assistance software.
A lot of cars, bro.
Yeah, a lot of people have downloaded this damn update that they put out there. It says it'll be entirely conducted via an over-the-air software update, and so you don't have to take it anywhere apparently. And it comes after the investigation from a federal agency warned over the full self-driving feature on certain models, saying it could have insufficient adherence to local traffic laws. Bro, that's putting it gently.
Yeah.
Insufficient
more than
adherence
that.
to local traffic laws. So let's put it into context. We've got Yahoo Finance's Praz Submarinian, and so he's talking about what exactly what's going on with the vehicles here.
Yeah, he described it very well, actually.
Yeah, so he goes on to say, these issues have been known for some time now with Tesla's FSD beta software, but just to quickly go through it, the NHTSA had a problem, has a problem with basically like he had mentioned, a certain local laws not being adhered to. So essentially, the car sometimes will drive through an intersection and in a turn only lane, not in a straight line. it'll blow through sometimes. It'll blow through stop signs and sign controlled intersections.
Bruh.
They may also not respond to posted speed limits. That software is posted is supposed to adjust itself when it sees a speed limit. So but this one did not. This one did not. And then if the driver adjusts the speed limit above the posted limit, it will not autocorrect that either. Yo, that joint was not ready for prime time.
Not at all. I mean, that's the reason why it was a beta. It's a beta version, right? Like,
how you do a beta with real traffic of 360,000 cars?
So let me. So being in the tech space, I'm gonna give you a little bit of insight on these things with beta, right? You need pilot users. That's how we test beta. we need actual
okay, but guess what? I don't drive a Tesla. I didn't ask to be in your fucking test simulation.
Right. So let me tell you this about that. Now, it's not something that's automatically triggered, right? Like you have to decide to allow, there's actual prompts that hey, do you want to initiate FSD, which is the full self-driving what you mentioned earlier. Do you want
but I ain't leaving it up to the consumer to know that y'all did y'all research, right?
Right. So exactly. So it does require consent for you to even allow this feature to even activate, right? So that's kind of like
Tesla.
So that's kind of like Tesla's way of kind of squirming out of it a little bit. It's kind of well, you kind of have to agree to activate the feature, right? You can download it, but it still prompts you hey, do you want to, those warning prompts, things like that. So it does prompt you in a way, but
that bit's kind of risky.
But here's
the thing. It's one thing if it's you can test, you can activate if you want to. That's on you.
Yep.
And you are the only one that's going to be affected by it.
Yes.
It's one thing if that's what was happening.
Yeah, but that's not the case.
I didn't sign their agreement, so if I'm a non-Tesla driver, and we know it's the software that fucked up.
Yes.
I'm the victim of this accident, had nothing to do with it. I should be able to
just as a casual driver on the road.
I'm a casual driver on the road. I should be able to hold Tesla accountable. It was their software.
That's fair.
So it might be safe for that driver. Well, so now are they gonna use that? If the car hits something, the owner of the Tesla is at fault for the accident? I mean, is that how the contract would be structured when it's the Tesla's software that fucked up?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to be held accountable for it because they're the one that created this particular situation. However, obviously Tesla's going to find a way to squirm out of that responsibility. But they would have to be, right? It's their software. It's their physical product as far as the vehicle goes. I mean, this is the reason why they're being investigated by DOJ and this NTSA organization that you mentioned, which is the National Training and Simulation Association. So, I mean, it is interesting because if it's a car that's just driving by itself and no one's in the car, who are you really blaming? You have to blame the manufacturer.
Yo, and it was also you had to pay for the beta.
Yeah,
niggas is paying $1,500 to kill themselves. Not 15. What is it? 15,000. It's 15,000.
Barely so, yeah.
For the beta.
The beta version.
So that they can experiment on y'all food. Y'all paying for them to experiment on y'all. And y'all don't know also that the entire electric market is subsidized by the government.
It is.
All right, to get these companies to invest in electric vehicles.
I recently heard that.
So that government money is also
good.
your tax dollars. That's where that's going. So we want more electric vehicles and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but know that y'all partly paid for Tesla already, and now they want you to pay 15 grand for the beta, which will probably kill you.
I mean, two things. I mean, obviously Biden he actually has a plan where he wants these EVs, more EVs on the road, right? As far as,
of course,
like, so obviously the government is gonna try to incentivize corporations to obviously fund that particular initiative. And two, when it comes to beta versions, like, again, like, you need pilot users, but at the same time, like, for example, like, Apple sends out pilot versions of like their OS updates, right? When it's on the phone or their Macs and that stuff, but you have to like actually inquire about it. They don't just send it out like to everybody and be like, hey, do you want this update? They only send out like verified patch updates, right? But beta versions of any apps aren't necessarily something that are just sent out. Like, it has to be requested.
It shouldn't be allowed.
Let you know.
I'm gonna tell you like this: the government shouldn't allow it. The government shouldn't allow niggas to just beta test they shit like that on the regular road.
They do all these different other products and
killing you.
Yeah,
the beta test is killing you. It's killing regular people that don't have nothing to do with the test environment.
Yeah, that's fair.
Innocent people have nothing to do with this thing, and they're getting and people gonna die. People have died. A baby died. A baby died.
Yeah, it is very and that's, first of all, that's terrible news.
Not allowing it. You not. I'm be California. Be like, nope, not allowed on the main road. Y'all better use the test course.
It is irresponsible. First of all, California is a wild state, so I'm not even surprised about this. But it is irresponsible. It's grossly irresponsible. But if you consider,
I don't know if it was in California that they probably happen all over the country. Period. Because everybody got Teslas.
Fair enough. I just wouldn't be surprised if it happened in California. That's just.
Allow them to.
I don't have any. Anyways, what makes this? I would also add this too. What makes this situation even more, like, insidious a little bit is, like, the same guy from that article we just read. He was talking about how, which I think is very true, that Tesla is actually kind of bullish on profiting, because they profit a lot on their software, right? And in this in particular, and I think he made a very good point that Tesla's actually bullish about this. Like, they're very aggressive on like profiting off of software and being innovative, right? Which is the same thing as Apple. Apple does the same thing. They're very bullish about it as well. That's dangerous, bro, because, like, what that tells me is, because you prioritize that, it goes back to what you were saying before. It's like, are you really considering all aspects of this, of like putting other people's lives in danger?
Yeah.
The community, pollution, all these different things that can be affecting climate and all this stuff, right? By all this innovation, right? And obviously, just having people's lives in danger because of these things, right? So, I think it's really crazy that the lives of people aren't at the forefront of these things, where it's kind of like they promote it that way, where it's like, hey, we want this to be more of a convenient kind of thing, or like a benefit.
But I mean, that all comes down to like
at the expense of lives, though, it's kind of crazy.
But you have, I mean, it's nothing new. But again, it's like it's corporations. They don't care about people. Yeah. You know, they just like Amazon. You know, as huge as that is. You hear how they're treating their workers.
Just made me think about that. All these layoffs as well.
Layoffs, but not only that, when you do got a job there, you can't even go to the bathroom. You know what I mean? Some people carry a pee bottle with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They got you on the clock every second. As long while you're there, you gotta be productive, right? They have some proprietary way of measuring people's productivity, or whatever. But it's like, bro, they got some Walmart, not Walmart, they have some Amazon facilities that have like ambulances that just like stay parked outside.
Whoa,
just parked outside.
Crazy. There's a warehouse right by my way, actually. I just passed it one time. I was like,
they know they had that bit on deck. They know they had that bit on deck, and that bit be parked outside.
That tells me a lot.
So like, it's nothing new, man. They don't care about people. They just care about their toy. Their you know that you know that this power that they have. This little. He cares about his toy in terms of Elon Musk and that corporation and like making that product be, you know, do things, and like, damn whoever has to be burned off to the side as we do this ascension. For even the rail company, they don't care about the employees that they have there that they're like have to work in those kinds of conditions. You know what I mean? They want to move as many things as they can to get that revenue up. They want to move to the point they want to be get that revenue up. They don't care. Ain't about people. They could just put another person in.
You're right about that, because there's always going to be a pool of people they can just pull and replace the person. A lot of these folks are definitely expendable for sure, which is just the nature of it. I was also going to say that it's even in
wait, a lot of these people are expendable. Who's expendable?
Yeah, like I'm talking about like Amazon, like warehouse workers.
Oh, they treat them. They treat them like they're expendable.
But I believe that's how a lot of them view them though. Like these people are.
Yeah, they view them as expendable. Yeah, but that's the same thing I was saying about the NFL. They view these cats in the NFL as expendable. Like a player, they could say that they love a player and all that kind of stuff. They be talking the way they be talking. Oh, he's from this hometown or whatever. Yeah. As soon as he gets injured, they toss his ass out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, because you're looked at as a commodity, and if the return on my investment in you is not what I project, or if it's not meeting that, then I gotta get rid of you. Like it's just a commodity. And I've come to realize that it's the name of the game. Like it's the bottom dollar. It's about profit. It's about expanding. It's about imperialism. It's about monopolizing whatever that industry is. That's just the name of the game. Like, and I think that is a proponent of just the kind of economy that we live in. It's capitalism at its finest. You know what I'm saying?
At its finest, I think it's capitalism at its fucking most destructive. It's like
so that's a better word. That's a better word.
Runaway capitalism.
Yeah, capitalism at its most destructive. That's a better word. And actually, now I just remember the point I wanted to make as well. Did you know? And I think you may be aware of this. Did you know that it's actually even stipulated in their contracts as workers, like, hey, you'll be exposed to certain chemicals, dangerous conditions.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So that's kind of there's an so having an ambulance on site, it's kind of like
but you still have
kind of crazy.
But you still have OSHA. OSHA, right? OSHA realizes that there are, people have to make these chemicals that that we have to move around for stuff. People have to work in factories like. With all kinds of pressure points and potentially, hazards where you could lose an arm and stuff like that. And so OSHA, because we have OSHA, they make sure that because we need to build buildings, we need to build cars, we need to have agriculture. So we need those industries, but what can we do to make these industries safe for the workers? So we're going to tell them they're going to be exposed to this kind of stuff, but you're also going to provide them with safety and hazmat protection. You know what I'm saying? So because these jobs need to get done. So we're gonna try to do it as safely as we can, but not to some of these. They don't care. They're cutting corners on all those kinds of things. How you have a brake sensor that goes off 3 times on that damn train because it's a sensor. It's a brake sensor that is attached to some kind of like a heat detector, right? Okay. It's attached on the train. And so something happened with one of the cars, I think might have derailed or something happened with it, but it was heating up the off the track, like one of the cars. And it passed a heat detector, nothing. You didn't hear a sound. It passed the second one, nothing, right? And it passed the third one, and it was the third one that finally got the detector to go off. And I think that's when the engineer tried to manually slow the train down, right? And he was actually already getting ready to slow down because there was the timing with another train that was ahead, where he started manually slowing the train down. And I think that caused it to like spark or something, and like caused that to derail, and the ones behind it derail. I think it was something like, I can't remember the exact details, but it's like you're using brakes from fucking 1945, my G.
Yeah, you're already starting off wrong.
Yeah, and like your tracks ain't great, and also your detectors ain't detecting, my guy. Like,
I mean, could it
you're not investing in the actual thing? Because you don't care to make the environment safe enough for workers, because you quarter by quarter after quarter you've been making increased percentage on your profits.
Yeah, I think you're right.
On your earnings.
They're definitely cutting corners, obviously, on better upgraded equipment that could prevent these things from happening for sure. Because I'm like, with all the technology we have now, I'm sure there's, I mean, there's been significant progress in making trains better as far as the travel go, the mechanisms and how it operates, and obviously improving railway pathways and systems, things like that.
Bro, we ship so much stuff around the country through railways.
Yeah, through railway. Yeah, actually, we ship a lot through railways. Yep, absolutely.
So
absolutely. I mean, to the point where we have
the average person. A lot of times, the average person doesn't see them because they don't live in those kind of communities. They just know that they just know they go to the shelf at that Publix or that shelf at that Wegmans, and that stuff that they need, that cereal is right there. There's several albums that came out that I need to check out. That recently came out this week. I haven't had a chance to really explore a bunch like I usually get to, but Gorillaz happened in a weird way for me to be the one that I think is a vibe, right? And if you don't remember Gorillaz, they sang that song, and I'm happy. I'm feeling sad, I got sunshine. I'm feeling glad, I got sunshine. In a bag, I'm useless. But so that was them, right? And but they've had like several albums. Let me see if it says how many studio albums they had here. There's usually like a quick link. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, these are tour dates. Studio albums 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studio albums. So they've been around, right? And they put in work. But here's the thing: it's not a great album, right? I'm not gonna bear the lead. It's not a great album. The reason, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of disappointment. I guess is that I haven't heard anything from them, like anything new in a while. It was like 3 years ago, you know what I mean, since they put out music. And like I kind of want to hear like where they've grown, you know what I mean, how they kind of sound, what kind of elements they new elements that they're introducing, you know what I mean, over the time that you're waiting. But if you like the Gorillaz stuff before and you ain't looking for like a new take or a new angle at what they do, then this album is fine. Matter of fact, I was listening to it, and this is the particular way I was listening to it. That like what made it fine. It's like I was walking, you know. So I would advise, you know, for this album, if you want to go for a walk, I think people should, you know, take a walk, put your headphones on, don't go anywhere particular, just like down the block, turn around, come back, or maybe hop on the train just to go on a ride for a few stops. It's a dope little vibe. It's kind of like that walking vibey kind of music, you know. And so I if you're doing something like that and you got an activity like that going, I think this is a good album to be like a soundtrack for your day, you know. But it's consistent with their stuff, you know, with their general Gorillaz, you know, other stuff. They always have features on here. This one, Stevie Nicks. And she's always good in a calming voice to hear. I think who else was
how would you define their genre? They're like pop rock or something like
that? It's like electronic rock. I wouldn't say pop rock, no. But there's elements of hip hop in it. You know what I mean? They have verses. You know what I mean? Somebody, you know, one of the guys, they, you know, they spit some verses on occasion. Not every song is gonna have a rap or hip hop segment to it, but it's very melodic, it's very creative, and they always have like a lot of like subversive messages in it, like talking about the environment or talking about you know, wars, you know, and things like that, and corporate greed, you know what I mean. This kind of messaging would be if you read all the lyrics. So I think it's a little vibe for that, and folks should check it out. The dope thing is what you're talking about a second ago is that if you're not into Gorillaz, you never listen to their stuff, they have a really dope concept. These are from the very beginning virtual artists.
Yeah. Yep.
They're avatars. These characters, they have a specific artist. His name is J.C. Hewlett. That he created these characters, and it's been the face of the band. They make music videos and everything. You just never see humans. Every once in a while, I see a music video where they're like, in the music video, the cartoons are watching a TV, and that TV will have a human that's kind of like rapping or somebody like, oh, is that the guy? You know what I mean? It might be the guy, you know, the actual person. But like, they never really like fully, the voices never really fully have ever like publicized and put themselves out like that. I'm sure it's a quick Google. We know who they are, but in terms of representing them as their art, they only represent themselves in this form, in this avatar type of form.
It was actually a dope concept for sure when they came out with it.
Yeah, I think it's cool, and they have they kept up with it the whole time, you know. And this is what they're saying. Like, we're here for like you listen to, but like really, if you know, back in the day, like you didn't really need a lot of times. You never saw your artists anyways. Like really, I'm talking about like, you know, way back. I'm talking about 100 years ago. You know, you get the record or you get the recording on the monogram, whatever the hell that thing is. You and
xylophone.
Xylophone.
Not xylophone. No, not xylophone. What is it? What is it called?
Who said xylophone?
Not xylophone.
That's why I need a soundboard right there. I need a.
I don't know why I can't. What is that thing?
Sonophone? Is it a sonophone?
I think that's what I was.
Something like that. I think I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
Right.
Xylophone. I was like, bro, sonophone, whatever that thing is.
And so, you ever did was hear.
It was really the content. It was the content that
you were just here to hear. It was an audio medium, so you don't really care. You don't really need to know. You might see the picture in a magazine, something like that. So you could get away with it.
Radio.
Yeah, when you listen to radio, you know, you just need to hear the sound. So you don't really need the visual of who is what the people look like. Like to the point that you made earlier. You know, we really don't need to be, if you know, judge a person by art, not by whether their face is soft or hard, or if their face is a 10 or not.
Fair enough.
How's the art?
Fair enough.
That's it. That's all. All right, bro, we did it. Got another one in the books. We talked about the freaking train derailment. Hopefully those you know, shout outs to those people. Hopefully they can get the aid that they need to get back into their homes. And but if not, then maybe, you know, somebody could do something. Maybe have the corporation buy out their homes and move them to a safer place to live, because that could be a whole nother Flint situation that's happening, that's brewing there. So you know, there's going to be updates, and we'll try to follow up in the future. We also talked about Tesla experimenting on everybody with nobody's permission. Right? Maybe they might have the user permission, but like they out here using the regular roads. Bro, I tell you, sometimes I'm on the road and I'm like, I see a Tesla. I see a Tesla pull up. I'm like,
I hear you.
Is that one of them Teslas? You know, so like I'm like, let me slow down, or let me, you know what, I'll go the other route. I'll say I'll go the rural route, but there's chemicals and shit over there. So and train tracks and stuff, and I ain't going the rural route. But me?
usually they'll have like some extra paraphernalia and like gadgets and stuff around the car with that. But
like those like apparatuses that's around it. Like,
because
so you can be like, yo, this is a test vehicle. But it's not a test vehicle. These are regular people who own these cars. Downloaded a software update. If it's a Tesla that's next to you, I don't know if you downloaded that bit or not, and I don't know what you're doing inside that bit. You're doing something wild in there. You probably just fucking taking a nap.
I've seen people on IG and TikTok doing that too. I'm like, okay, y'all really
talking about got their feet up and stuff like that. So
I'm like,
who's out there wilding? I'm careful around Teslas, but you know, that was the show for the day, man. Thanks everybody for tuning in again, coming back to the show. I've been your man's Darwin Messadou, aka Darwin Darko.
Yeah, and I'm Jeff, not Jeffrey. You can check us out, man, on our social media. Obviously, we had our tags up at the top throughout the show. But as far as the show itself, it's at Another Challenge Day. So check us out, man, and get this game because you need it. So,
all right.
But I hope you guys enjoy the show. We'll check you out next week.
All right.
It's Challenge Day.